What's up, guys? Welcome back. So we're making changes to the TRD Pro, especially in the bed. We're going to kind of rearrange things. We're in the process of transitioning to a little bit different of a setup. If you follow the channel, you know that we used to have swing cases on both sides for extra storage. They are no longer. We are going with Molle panels, and these are kind of a knockoff brand that I got off Amazon. I wasn't even sure I was going to make this video, to be honest with you, because I wasn't sure how the quality was going to be, but I already have the driver's side done, as you can see. And I am more than impressed with these panels that I got off Amazon for a fraction of the cost of what you're going to pay for those other kind of bigger name brands that we see in, you know, all of the Tundra forums. So let me show you how to get these things installed. It's obviously compatible with our bed rack. I did have to make a little modification because we have the electric retracts tonneau cover. Very slight modification that I did to the back panel, but again, compatible with everything else we have. Our Charvonia Designs tie downs, no other issues with anything else we have on the build. Let me show you how to get these things installed, and I'll show you how well they fit. Before we even get into the install, I'll just give you a quick look at the fit and finish. So again, I'm pleasantly surprised for what I paid for these things, and I'll link them down below for you. So you can see the only thing I had to do was, because of the retracts canister, we couldn't go all the way back to the bed. So what I did was, instead of trying to just like cut around the retracts, I just basically took that back panel and just made a straight line cut down. But it's still on there, rock solid, nice and secure. And again, you can see it works well with our Charvonia tie downs. No issues there. Same thing in the back. So yeah, super impressed for the price I paid. Link will be below. Let me show you how to get them on. Okay, so what you're going to get in the kit, you're going to get 3 panels. Obviously, this is just one. You're going to get 3 panels for each side. 3 for the passenger, 3 for the driver. This is going to be the first one we're going to work with. You can tell the difference because this actually has the cutout for our power port right there. Now, as far as hardware, you're going to get black tees that look like this. You're going to get gold nuts that look like that with the flange on them. You're going to get 2 different size bolts, so you'll be able to easily tell them apart. The ones with the, as far as, before I go any further, all you're going to need to get this job done is a 4mm Allen wrench, a 5mm Allen wrench, and then I needed a 6 because that's what takes that's what the Charvonia tie downs needs to tighten or loosen that hardware. So again, that's all you're going to need to get this install done. So the bolts, the ones with the 5mm heads, you can easily tell the difference between them and the ones with the 4s. So you're going to get the 2 different size bolts, washers, and then you're going to get a bunch of these nuts here. And obviously I'll show you what all these are used for and where they go. All right, so the first thing you want to do is take your rear panel, and again, you can't really mess it up because this flange back here by my thumb, that's what's going to go and secure to where your tie downs. Now, whether you have the stock tie downs or Charvonia tie downs, doesn't matter. That's where this is going to secure to. But before you do that, you want to take one of these T pieces and you're going to put it upside down. So it's an upside down T, and we're going to put it on top of the opening up here on top. You're going to take 2 of the bigger bolts with washers, okay? And that's how we're going to secure this to the bed. So, and what I like about this is, because I have so much going on in the bed of this truck, between the brackets for the bed rack, my Charvonia tie downs, I also have these hooks on here. I just have a lot going on in this bed. You can literally, it's completely adjustable. So if you do have anything on your bed rails, it's no big deal. You literally just kind of put this where you need it, where you want it. You can put it anywhere along this top track, and then we're just gonna, when you have it where you want it, we're just gonna go ahead and take 2 of the silver nuts and secure it to the piece, like so. And I don't tighten them down yet because, again, you want to be able to slide this around a little bit to make sure you have it where you want it up here. So now I'm just kind of eyeballing it, making sure this upside down T is where I want it. And that looks pretty good right there. So now what I'm going to do is, I am going to go ahead and tighten down these 2 screws right here. And again, that's the M5 or 5mm Allen head. Now that we have that T secured where we want it, we're going to take one of the golden nuts with the flange, and we're going to put it inside our rail. And you can see how it's sticking out this way. You want the part, the bolt part that's sticking out towards me right now, you want that to be facing out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just pop it in there. You can easily get it in there without having to slide it in from the back. We're just going to kind of get that positioned in the general area of where we're going to want it. And now we're going to take our Charvonia tie down. Again, if you have the stock tie downs, whatever the case is, we're going to go ahead and secure the tie downs using this flange here. That's going to help us kind of hold this up so we can finish securing it to the rail. And this was just the easiest order that when I did the driver's side, this is just what worked best for me as far as like what order I'm doing what. Again, this isn't really necessarily the order you have to take, but it's what worked best for me on the driver's side. Okay, so we got that started. We don't have it tightened down yet because you want a little wiggle room to be able to maneuver this and just kind of get everything lined up, because now we're going to take another one of the bigger bolts with the washer, and we're going to go through the top part of the T, or I mean the T is upside down, but the top section we're going to go through and screw it into the golden nut with the flange that we put inside the bed rail. And the easiest way I found to do this is just get your pinky behind that golden nut in there, and that'll hold it in place while you take your bolt and get it started. Otherwise, that golden nut, it's going to kind of fly around on you, and you know it's going to be a little tough to get it secured. Once you get it to a certain point, then you can let it go. And once we're happy with the placement, as far as making sure it's nice and level with our rail, once you have it where you want it, now we can go ahead and tighten everything down. Tighten these two are already tightened, so we'll tighten those two, that one, and this panel is done. All right, so I got my tie down slid all the way back up where I want it. That's tightened down as well. This rear panel is completely done. So now we're going to take the middle panel, very easy to identify. It has the cutout for our light, and it also has the curve to go over the wheel well. So basically we're going to kind of line it up, and these tabs on this end, they're going to go behind the front panel, or I'm sorry, the rear panel actually. So they're going to go behind like this. So I'm just going to kind of get it in position and kind of eyeball it, see where I want to put my upside down T, and it looks like I'm going to want it somewhere right in this area. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, take it off, and again, you want to secure this T before you do anything else, before you put the panel on and attach it to the bed anywhere. It just makes it easier. So I'm going to do the same thing, take two of the bigger 5mm bolts with washers, pop them through, secure the T where I want it with the nuts on the back. Again, before I completely tighten them down, just line it up and make sure that's where we want it. So yeah, it's going to be right in. I'm trying to kind of eyeball it with the driver's side so everything looks nice and even. I think I'm going to slide it back just a little bit. So that looks pretty darn good and close to what the driver's side looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead and tighten those two down again, and we can continue securing it to the truck. So now we're going to take it and put those two flanges behind the panel back here, and you can see the holes. We're going to take two of the smaller 4mm Allen head bolts, and we're going to go through our rear panel and screw into those flanges. They have threaded inserts in them, so there's no nut on the back. It's actually built into the panel itself. So we're just going to take two of the smaller bolts and washers and secure it in place. We're not going to tighten these down totally either just yet until we get the top part at least started. So we'll leave it secure, or we'll leave it a little bit loose, not totally secure. That way we have a little bit of wiggle room to get that top bolt and that golden nut lined up. So now we'll take another golden nut, Again, you can see how I'm putting it in there with the nut part that's sticking out facing me. Slide it over to get it behind the top part of the T and secure it with one of those 5mm heads, the bigger bolts with the washer. All right, that last panel is going to be rinse and repeat, but I just wanted to show you what I did. I took my angle grinder and just cut off this section. Again, this is the part that won't really fit because of the Retrax cover. This is the part we're going to go ahead and mount. I'll show it to you in fast forward just so you can see how it fits, and then I'll give you a close-up look of all the hardware. We'll wrap this video up. Already got our T tightened down where we want it. Up close look at the hardware. You can see how everything kind of sits. The golden nut is what's back in there. These are the smaller nuts that I mentioned. You can see how it all lines up. Love it. There she is, all done with the install. We're gonna get the fridge put back in, and the bed is ready for the changes that are coming. So I love those swing cases, but I'm glad to get them out of the way and have these Molle panels in here instead. As I mentioned, I am super happy with these for the price that I paid compared to the other kind of bigger names that we see in the forums. I saved a ton of money, and these work perfectly. Nice and secure, everything lined up very well. Obviously, as I mentioned, everything still works with our tie downs and our bed rack, those brackets, the Retrax cover still works, as you can see. No issues there. The Molle panels are well below, so couldn't be happier. So stay tuned for the changes that are coming to the bed rack and the bed of the Pro. There's going to be multiple videos coming out with everything we're going to be doing, switching things up a little bit back here. Stay tuned, guys. If you have any questions on these Molle panels, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.